Got a rifle on a hunting rack, best friend in the back, old hound riding shotgun. I got a camouflage mud truck looking for a big buck creeping through the dusky dawn. Big bright floodlights cutting through the dark night make a path to the deer stand. Pray to God Almighty, quiet as I can be, waiting for the aftermath. We've been dreaming all year for the season, waiting for the leaves to fall. We'll be looking for a 12-point buck, man. He'll be chasing that doe. Fire up your guns, draw back your bows, let the lead out, let the hammer go. Put some meat on the table, horns on the wall, take a picture, show it off to your pawpaw. You're a different kind of animal, hiding in the brush. Look at what it does when hunting's in your blood.
Well, Friday of the first week of turkey season, sit down there early this morning, had a couple of goblin, kind of worked between them, set up my decoy and started calling. And this, I think he's about a 2-year-old bird, came in kind of in a rush and almost run past me. And I was blessed and got a shot, and I have a turkey. Thank you.
Turkey down.
Turkey down.
Well, it's the opening weekend of the 2014 spring Missouri turkey season. And although I wasn't able to go with my dad, he harvested a nice bird.
Good bird.
Good bird. And I didn't realize, hunting with him all my life, I didn't realize that it had been 20 plus years since he had taken a bird. And seeing him there with that bird, it was something for me.
Well, we've moved the blind again. My dad shot one on this ridge this morning, nice 2-year-old bird. And he said there were several gobbling on it, so we moved the blind over here. And we have one gobbling on the next ridge over there. And he's answering my calls, so we're gonna see if we can't get him to come up here. It's quite a hike for him, but if he's after some love, he just might do it. So stay with us and let's see if we can get this gobbler over here.
Now, I see you're hunting out of a blind here today.
Yeah, that's something that in the past I usually didn't do. I was a run and gun specialist back in the day. But me and Jeremiah was in the blind that morning, and we'd heard a bird. And exactly, it was, matter of fact, it was the same blind, same area my dad shot his bird out of, same ridge. And we heard several birds, but we heard 2 gobbling real well at the end of the ridge. And my running gun kicked in. And I said, Jeremiah, let's go get these birds.
Had to bail out of the blind.
And we done some creeping. And we crept to the end of this ridge, and the birds were off down in this draw. And it's real open. And man, I knew we had spooked them. So we kind of sat down, done a little calling, hoping they'd come up to us. But if you know turkeys, they don't like to come up a ridge. No. So we done a little more creeping, and then they just shut up. So we kind of stood there for a while, and
Probably
they just
thought you spooked them.
I did. So we heard another one. So we rounded that ridge and headed off after him. We got about halfway to him, those 2 started lighting back up again. And that's the way it happens, folks. You think you spook them, or you don't hear them anymore, so you take off after another one or go to leave, and they gobble again, and then here we go. But so we went after that other bird, and he was so far away we really couldn't mess with him. So we left that ridge, and I knew of some fields on this property that we've seen birds at before. So me and Jeremiah go down to these fields, and we hear one gobble. So I get out there and set the decoy up. We get tucked back in the wood line a little bit, and that bird's still gobbling. So I decided to go down and take a look.
Had to take a peek.
Had to take a turkey peek. So I went down around this little thick brush, and I looked, and he's out there in the field just full strut.
He's got hens with him.
And there's hens with him. And then I know why he's not coming in. So I wave at Jeremiah. I say, "Come on, let's try to sneak up a little closer." So we get up a little closer, but we're still 100 plus yards from this gobbler, and it's open field. We can't get to him without spooking him.
Especially with all them hens around.
Two eyes on a gobbler is bad enough, but when he had 4 hens with him, and when you've got that many set of eyes on a turkey, that sneaking around just doesn't pan out. So we decided to put the old stalk on him. And folks, if you don't know what I'm referring to when I'm talking about stalking, it's when we see an animal, whether it be a deer or turkey, and we try to put the old creep on them. We start either walking, real quiet, real slow, or like here, where I belly crawl. And that's what stalking is. And it's fun to do,
Yeah.
but it doesn't always pan out. So I tell Jeremiah, I say, "Jeremiah, I'm gonna start stalking this bird." So I get down and start crawling on my hands and knees. And as you can see, this field is full of briars, full of little cactuses. And I had them in my hands, my belly, I had them everywhere. But I crawl, and I probably had to go 125 yards through this field. Man, I went across that field. And like I said, it was a long crawl. I think we said it was 40 to 45 minute stalk. Wow. But Jeremiah couldn't go with me.
No, not on the stalk.
No.
Stalk and crawl.
A stalk and crawl, yes. So he stayed back and filmed from the distance, which like I say is 100 plus yards.
Well, what I like is that when that hen came real close to you and it's right there by
At
you.
one time I thought she spooked because she stuck her old head up and she was looking, but she went right back to feeding. And I was afraid to move. I was afraid to blink because it seems like a turkey can see an eyelash fall at 100 yards and spook. So I was afraid to make any kind of move. So I run down to the creek. I get down to the creek, and I'm expecting to see this bird laying there in the creek. Well, I get down there and I see nothing. Folks, you just saw me belly crawl about 100 yards across this field. We had 4 hens and a gobbler. And I got up there probably around 40 yards from this gobbler. And these hens were 10 feet from me. I couldn't move.
I thought for a second that those hens were going to walk up on you.
They were 10 feet from me. And that gobbler come following them, and he got roughly 25 yards. And I had to shoot laying down. I don't want to make no excuses, but I had to shoot laying down. And I swear I shot him square in the face.
He fell. We
He
saw
did
him.
fall.
We saw him crash, and then he got up and flew off.
And then I shot again. He kind of crashed in the creek, and I went over there and I can't find him nowhere. Oh, man. Briars. Folks, this field is full of briars. I got briars in my legs, my hands, my belly. But that's what happens, you know. You try to put a creep on, and sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. So, I don't know. I'm going to go over here and see if I can find some feathers where I busted him. Well, after I get over there to the creek and don't see the bird, and I'm going around looking under all these down trees and these root wads and rock piles that are laying around, I come across another critter that likes to slither through the grass like I just did. You know, after seeing this snake, I thought, well, what the heck? I asked him, I said, "Snake, have you seen my turkey?
Yeah.
I didn't get no reply. Seen a turtle.
That's the turtle.
I said turtle. Did you see my turkey? No reply. So I actually think I blew that turkey to pieces. I don't think there was a piece of him left.
I think it just blew up.
Blew up. I'm shooting Remington.
Yeah.
But I guess I missed that turkey. I didn't miss it, but I guess didn't hit it good enough to kill it because we can't find it. So we're gonna go try to find another turkey and see if we can't have a little easier hunt on this one. So come along with us.
Well, you know, Brad, that's the breaks. You know, I mean, sometimes you get one in close and your gun is patterned real tight, and you know, with your excuses, you know, shooting through the grass and everything like you had to do on your belly and all that stuff, I totally understand.
Thank you.
But let me show you a little something. On a turkey with a shotgun,
Yes, sir.
this is where you're supposed to shoot. Not here, not here, not here. Here.
Folks, I've seen this somewhere before.
Turkey hunting with Lynn Wilson today. I don't know if you guys know Lynn, he's late to everything. We're running a little behind today.
That morning, I was sitting there waiting on Dustin. You know, we were supposed to meet at 5 after, or we was actually supposed to meet at 5.
Yeah.
I look at my watch and it's 5 after 5, and I get this text about 7 after 5 and says, I'm gonna be 5 or 10 minutes late because I forgot the decoys.
From now.
And I texted him back, you're already 7 minutes late, LOL. And
Like my wife, he's so technical. So technical.
so, but then he blames me. You know, when he gets in front of the camera, he likes blaming me for things. And
I forgot my decoys. Anyway, we're gonna kill a bird today. I don't know if they know it yet, but they're gonna die. A little windy, but we all knew that going into it because Slim Wilson, he's a little windy. All right, let's go. I forgot my decoys by the time I went back to the house and got them because I didn't know what this guy was bringing. You know, he probably had an old stick with a paper plate, said turkey on it. I don't know what it was.
we get out there that morning and we heard 4 or 5 gobbles.
Yeah.
And we decided to take out after one of them. There was a little bit closer. We get down in the draw and get down there.
All of them were a little ways away, farther than what they had been. They had been fairly close. And anyway, we get off in the bottom. We're calling, and we get in the biggest mess of crows.
Crows are driving us crazy.
So the crows are driving us crazy.
Yeah.
And I was doing a little bit of calling, and all of a sudden we hear one gobble. And I looked at Dustin and I said, where was that?
It was back over there.
He points that way, I point that way. So we had to collaborate a little bit and try and listen for another gobble. And finally we did. We both had our good ears turned that direction, if you know what I'm talking about.
Okay, we went in the direction that we heard one. We thought we heard one gobble, and as we're going up there, we heard one gobble in the field on top of the hill.
We were kind of doing some blind calling as we was walking along there.
Yeah, I think he only gobbled like twice.
Yeah.
And we set up, and we're calling, and we realize he's not coming to us. And about that time, we hear a hen cackle and go to him. Well, she was on the other side of the brush in the field, fence row, and we knew at that time it wasn't going to happen. He wasn't going to come to us.
And he quit gobbling altogether. I mean, I'd call. I was kind of trying to be stingy with my calling once again, and he just wouldn't answer.
Yeah, it wasn't going to happen. He wasn't going to come to us. So you got the idea that I should crawl up to him, do a little stalking, and I started off. I got up there. You see on the video how I went up there, And once I could
Stealth mode.
once I could see the turkey in the field, then I got laying up there and we sat down and panned out. I started off, I got up there, you see on the video how I went up there and once I could...
Stealth mode.
Once I could see the turkey in the field, then I got laying up there and we sat down and... Well, as I'm crawling, I'm trying not to go over any tall weeds because I know the bird can see over the weeds, and if anything goes down, I may spook him. So I'm going through there, and I look back every once in a while, and because you can see him, and you're telling me go, and at no point you tell me to stop.
No.
So finally, I just quit looking at you and just kept
Like,
crawling.
just go get it.
And I get up there, and right as I can see him, I go to get in position, and I see that hen we heard, and I was like, oh, I thought she seen me. I was like, oh man, I need some help here.
And I never did see the hen in my little viewfinder. It wasn't until later when we were reviewing the footage that I actually saw the hen. So whenever he shoots, you'll see me. I don't know what I did with the camera, but it goes haywire there for a minute.
You were a little depressed.
I was depressed because I saw the hen. I didn't know it was the hen. I just see a bird fly off, and I thought you missed, bud.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No faith, bud.
But when
No faith.
but all of a sudden I get the camera back, and I'm like, I look out on
Why
my
is it-
peripheral, and you're running, and I'm like, why did you run? And then, so then I get back on you,
Yeah.
and it all panned out. Looks like that bird got you in the belly.
Well,
Wasn't the belly?
no.
The leg?
Nah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, he got me. He got me.
Check that dude out.
Bud. Woo! See that? Ooh.
The old sneak attack.
He's not all the way dead yet. He got me with a cheap shot on the way back.
I seen that.
Well, Lynn, I had you come with me today because I've been on these birds 3 or 4 times, and they just continually outsmart me. I had to have somebody else's
Input on it.
input on it. And then we get over here, and the wind's blowing, and they're not gobbling much. It's late in the season.
And when they hit the ground, they just shut up. So,
Imagine what we'd have done on a good day.
yeah.
But anyway, we're just walking around blind calling, for real. And he blows up in this field. And you said, let's set up. We set up. And he's gobbling. He might even come to us and do that.
He gobbled twice.
Yeah.
And then he would just shut up on us. And I've learned a lot more this season about being patient.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I just quit calling there
You
for a
don't call
while.
a lot.
No.
Yeah.
I don't like calling a lot because, like I say a couple times this year, it's paid off.
Yeah.
Not calling a lot. And so finally we sat there long enough, and I looked at you and went like this to see if you wanted to go ahead and crawl up there. And you'd mentioned that before, that
Yeah.
we might have to crawl up on one in a field. So
Yeah, I wanted to try the fanning.
Yeah.
I wanted to try the fanning. Luckily, I got all this underbrush here. But that hen came across. When she came across, I knew he wasn't coming to us. And anyway, it's good to have you back here telling me when to go, because a couple times I couldn't see him. I'm in the brush, you know.
And when I could tell he was fanned out, so I could just motion to him. He'd look back at me, I'd motion to him, and he put the stalk on it, and it paid off.
It worked perfect. He had him with him. So now I had four eyes looking at me, you know.
Yeah.
So once both of them got behind a tree,
They
I got
had
up.
4 eyes and a camera looking at them.
Yeah.
Good job,
And
bud.
a Remington.
And a Remington. Good
Sorry, Dave. Man, it worked out perfect. Beautiful bird. Long hike back, but we got a lot of birds between here and there.
Yeah, we're gonna try and get on me one now.
I told you when we left the truck this morning, the bird's gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And it did. Good job.
Thanks.
As we're after you've just been on the ground crawling around and everything, we're walking out, and you say, "Whoa, look! I thought it was another bird." And
Yeah, no.
no,
It's big black snake.
yeah,
I'm not a snake fan.
practically an anaconda.
Yeah, it monstrous. Yeah. Bounced it a couple times. Yep. 20 pounds.
Well, what do we got coming up next week?
Well, Brad, next week, me and some of the Rainbow reinforcements, we head down to Lake Taneycomo, and we do a different kind of fishing. Some of you may know about it. It's called grabbing or snagging, and we have a great time. So come and go with us and join the madness.